Hey gamers, it's Wintermute here from Grind This Game, and I got the oxygen not included ranching upgrade is available on the preview branch now, so it's kind of beta, a lot of stuff still being worked on, but there's a lot of cool stuff in there. And yeah, as I said, it's the ranching upgrade, so the main mechanic is the ability to basically domesticate animals and get them to lay eggs, which is a source of new food. And I think they can reproduce, but I'm not sure about that just yet. So there's the ranching. There's four main things in this update. The ranching part, there's 18 geyser types now. Everything from magma geysers to molten copper, iron, gold geysers. There's polluted water geysers, all sorts. Now they're randomized, and some of them have different kind of outputs than others. So I won't be able to show any pictures of the new ones in this episode, but I can show you kind of the temp art for one of them here. So here's this is just a natural gas geyser, so it's similar to the geysers before, but you can see there's information here now given. Now I'm not sure if this information is revealed once it's been researched, because there's analysis for geysers. So this one's been analyzed, and you can see all the details here: eruption period, active period, stuff like that. But I'll get into that more. So there's the geysers. The third new thing is the database, which I'll get into. Top right here, which is kind of like an encyclopedia of everything. And then there's new priorities. The way the priorities work has changed. So first let's look at ranching. Now let's just turn off debug mode here. Under jobs, you'll see some new professions. So there's, just to the right of farmhand, you'll see rancher, which is kind of like a novice rancher. And to the right of that is seasoned rancher. So I wanted to try to play with this stuff right away, so I set someone to be a seasoned rancher, which was kind of a mistake because it wasn't quite working. Now the ranching ability, as you can see here, it increases the trait critter wrangling. So there's a new attribute. If you look at Ari here, under his stats, he has the ranching skill level 0. So this will go up as he does more and more critter wrangling. So if you want to play with this stuff in debug mode, just set your guy or girl to rancher first, and they'll level up, and then you can get to seasoned rancher after. And what that actually does is uses a few new buildings. So we'll go under stations. We've got a new grooming station, which is this thing. That's temporary art. And what it does is if you have someone who can do the ranching skill, and you put hatches or animals in a room with this ranching station or grooming station, basically Ari will like whistle to the animals. They'll come over, they'll get on the grooming station, and then he'll like brush their teeth and brush them and give them perfume, and that gets them into the groomed state, which increases their happiness 30% per cycle, and it lasts one cycle. So I've got, I think, 4 hatches in here and 1 light bug or shine bug. So he'll actually groom the shine bug as well, as you can see. So happiness goes up, and if you hover over happiness here, you can see high happiness increases a critter's productivity and indirectly improves their egg laying rate. So they start off at 0 happiness, and the more often they get groomed, they'll get happiness up to 100 eventually. And then at some point, I'm not sure if it's random or this hatch here is at 100% happiness, and he's at reproduction 25%. And that'll continue to go up by 20% per cycle. It also seems to be like a feedback loop because it increases their happiness per cycle. And then once they reach 100%, they'll lay an egg, which I haven't seen yet. We're waiting for them to get enough time to pass by. So I'll show that near the end of the video. Once they've produced an egg, then you put it in an egg incubator, which is a new building found under food. So under food, there's the critter drop-off, which is similar to what it was before. It's going to get new art though. The critter feeder, which is this one, and then the incubator where you stick these eggs. So there's a pufflet egg, a hatchling egg, a shine nymph, and some unknown one here that's not being shown. And this feeder, I'm not sure if it's working either. It probably is, but for now I've just put some granite in here. And I think the hatches eat granite, so I think they eat just about anything, but it might have changed since the update. And we can see that they have calories as well. So they're similar to dupes. They'll eat, they'll get full, and then when I think that they reach the halfway point, they'll eat out of the feeder or eat off the ground. I've seen them eat off the ground in here. And there's a new room type that's kind of set to this, and that's the stable. And it requires the wrench station and no industrial machinery. So this little room is the stable. So I don't think it doesn't need an incubator or a feeder, just the wrench station. So what else is new? We've got the priorities menu. Actually, let's talk about the geysers first. So we got, let me show you the new geysers. So here's just a steam geyser. It hasn't been analyzed yet. So you need to do an analyze on this, and you'll need a tenured scientist to actually do this. See, specialist operated building, analysis pending. And if we just drop a dupe in there, since this is a steam geyser, they'll get scalded. And I think the learning attribute increases the speed at which they research these. It took me a very long time to research the natural gas geyser with someone who had learning 5. It took about 3 or 4 cycles. And if you're going to research things like these, I suggest you use exosuits because it's darn hot in here and they'll get scalded if they don't have exosuits. So yeah, tenured scientists. So that's kind of a new way to keep your scientists engaged. Before, you'd have a scientist, you'd use them for research, and then you'd just kind of detask them. But now there's like they have a longer job capability, essentially. Once it's analyzed, it gets this little weather vane thing on it, which is probably not permanent, but it says analysis complete here. And it looks like this is clickable, but it doesn't seem to do anything. If you hover over at analysis complete, it says information on this natural feature has been compiled below. Now, either it's this information here, or there's something new that's going to be added. So that's the geyser types. I don't want to spoil all the looks of the new geyser types, and because they load in randomly, I would have to load in a bunch of different maps to try to show them all. But I mentioned them before. There's magma ones, there's like hot metal ones, and then there's variations on some of the existing ones, like steam ones might output a little bit different amounts of steam. Then there's the database, as I mentioned. A lot of cool stuff in here. This will help new players quite a bit. So it's essentially a lot of the detail that you can find in here, but it's searchable, and I have a feeling it'll provide more information as kind of time goes on. Really, really useful for new players. And it is searchable, like I said, so you can start typing and it'll do autocomplete like hatch, and it'll find it for you. So pretty handy. And the priorities. So priorities menu has changed quite a bit. It changed quite a bit in the last update. But basically, you can have positive kind of or negative kind of priorities here. So if you right mouse button, it decreases the priority all the way down to disabled. And if you left click, it'll increase it through kind of neutral to super high priority. And you can do that at a dupe level. So I could set Frankie to do everything kind of higher priority. And then there's the wrench icon, which is basically they'll treat their jobs as high priority. So Ari considers ranch errands to be very high priority. Now, it's the preview edition, so if I click this, I haven't found a way to actually get the wrench back through the kind of right clicking and left clicking. But there is a new thing up in the jobs menu at the top right, kind of hidden away. Duplicant priorities are automatically reconfigured when they are assigned new jobs, and you can turn this off, and it falls back to manual priorities. So by default it's on, I think. So this is kind of allows you further control. If you want to manually adjust everything, you can do it, or if you want it to be more automated, you can also do that. So we'll wait. I'll come back once one of these hatches is ready to make an egg. I'll show that off. Okay, we're about to see the miracle of life here. We got a hatch at reproduction 99%. And it's about to tick over. Now, I said before this happy 20% per cycle. I think that's just showing that reproduction is sped up because of happiness. So if we hover over happiness, 100%, you can see it increases their egg laying rate. Oh, reproduction 100. It's happening. It's happening. The miracle of life is about to happen. I actually haven't seen this yet. I don't know if anything happens. Come on, hatches. I do want to speed it up so we can see it, but I want to see it happen in real time. Okay, I'll speed it up a little bit. Oh, there it is. There was no animation, I don't think, but there it is. It's behind the hatches. Hatching. Oh, there it is. Yay. Hatchling egg. This is a screenshot moment. Gotta get that. Let's turn off debug mode. Yay, hatchling egg. Okay, so now we can select that and put that in the incubator. We'll make that priority 9. And we'll see what happens. It took about 4 cycles for this hatch to get ready to lay his egg. Or her egg. There it goes in the incubator. Cool. Now when will it hatch? How long will it take? Now I think you can eat these eggs as well, but I'm not quite sure. Oh, incubation, here we go. 0.7%. Okay, 10% change per cycle. Nice. Okay, I'll be back once this is at 100%. Okay, so we're at 99% incubation now. So it takes 10 cycles to incubate an egg, because it's basically going up by 10% per cycle. And to actually see the incubation status, you have to click on the egg itself. If you click kind of around the egg, you'll get the incubator. If you click the egg itself, you'll get the incubation status. Incubation 100%. Oh wow, it just clicked over. So let's see what happens here. Maybe I should slow it down. Now they've been laying other eggs as well. So it seems like egg laying time. Oh, here comes the egg. Here, it's happening. It's happening. We put all our eggs in one basket here. I disabled these other ones. Oh, oh. Kaboom! New hatch. Starving. Oh, I hope he doesn't eat the other eggs. That would be funny. Okay, so we got 5 hatches now. So 5 cycles to get an egg out of each animal. And then the eggs you can actually take up to the cooking station. And you can turn them into omelettes, which have... what's the base calorie? So a base egg... Oh, it doesn't really say, but an omelet has 2,800 calories, and it's pretty good. It's +2 standard food. So every 5 cycles, as long as you got a groomer to keep them happy, you could imagine you could make a very large hatch farm that's pumping out eggs for food. And to kind of ramp up to get all your hatches, you could set up a bunch of incubators, assuming you had enough power. And we got a little shine bug egg here. Looks like a little light bulb. Yeah, so every 5 cycles you could be pumping out an egg, cooking those up, lots of omelets. So this is definitely a viable source for food. I'm looking forward to actually setting up a massive hatch farm. And it's also turning your waste materials, like certain types of rock and stuff that you're not actually using. Hatches will turn those into useful food for you, as well as coal. So pretty cool. I did put a Puft in here, and he's happy and groomed, but he still has a while to go before he pumps out an egg. but we can kind of see what the eggs look like up here. Actually, not here. Where did I see those before? Here. So the pufflet egg kind of looks like this. It's got little stripes. And this one, I'm not sure which this one is. It might be, there was some kind of turtle creature in the game before. Might be for that. Now I should mention, this whole ranching update is part 1 of 2. So 6 weeks after this one comes out, they're going to be expanding and doing more related to the ranching upgrade. So there's probably going to be more creatures, more egg types, and cool stuff like that. So it's a 2-parter. One other minor change, when the duplicants go to bed at night, they take their hats off now, which is interesting. Maybe that's so you can better see them. And there's the new cowboy hat for the rancher. Yeah, so I wanted to keep this video kind of under 15 minutes, so a little bit over. And I hope that kind of gives you a flavor for the new ranching upgrade. I'm pretty excited to... I might start a new base and try this stuff out. This is in debug mode, so it's cheating, but I'll get a real base going. So I hope you enjoyed that. I might do additional preview kind of informational videos as the more details come out and as the art gets finished and stuff like that. So as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.